Tron meets Nikon in their brand new full-frame mirrorless camera. Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Good morning, and thank you for joining me. So today's gonna be a Nikon day because there was just a teaser released of the brand new full-frame mirrorless camera that they're going to be coming out very, very soon. Rumor has it it's only gonna be a couple of weeks until it's announced. I think it's going to be a little bit further along, closer to Photokina, but that's just my personal opinion. Am I right? I don't know, but we will see. So what I want to do is I want to show you this teaser beside me while I'm talking to you about this video. And they did really a fantastic job on it, which I thought Nikon would do. They said they were really going to hit the entire media thing hard. They were going to get, you know, celebrities and a lot of big names that are going to be backing this camera, and the actual production when they put this thing together as far as advertising is going to be second to none. And I really do think that they're going to do that. Now when I say Tron meets Nikon, what I mean is the way they put this together is very spacey, very Tron-esque. The new Tron or the past Tron or whatever. Even the inner ring looks like the Tron disc, right? It's very cool. I think that they really did a good job. So before we get into the specs and what has changed and not changed and whatnot, I want to look at the different frames that I captured in this video clip. So first it starts out with this like ball of light in the distance, almost like a star. And what happens is a star now becomes a celestial body or a galaxy as we're kind of tunneling through it. And now we move to the next frame where it is now this, let's call it the ring or the Tron disc on one side, and on the other side you can see all of the light particles from that galaxy now accumulating into a point. On the next frame we can see that Tron disc, which is obviously the flange of the camera, and the next frame you could see this explosion happen where those stars from that galaxy hit the lens and then get just split up like a prism into a rainbow of light. The next frame shows that rainbow shooting through, let's call it the lens, and then you can see that rainbow now being manipulated or changed with electricity and converted into squares or cubes of light. And finally, we can see the sensor and all of these particles being captured by the sensor. And from that, we can see this girl. And she's looking up into the stars at the galaxy, and right in the retina of her eye, you can see that galaxy very dimly, but you can see it. And the next shot, we now see the back of the camera. For the first time, we could see that LCD. And wow, guys, look at the size of that LCD. Now, I did say that it was going to be as big as a D850 in my last video. I'm like, wow, how are they going to stick that in the back of the camera? Well, by the looks of it, I mean, that LCD is literally 75% of the back of the camera. It's massive. So we go to the next frame, and now we can see the camera from the side with this big, massive lens on the front. And you can see how thin the camera itself is. But it's not as thin, I don't believe, as like an A7. As we said, it has a little bit more girth to it. And as we pan to the side, that lens, that massive lens, pops off. I'm going to guess that that's probably one of their knocked lenses. They're real high-speed lenses, but you could see it popped off. And once again, we see that ring. I call it the Tron Ring. And look at the size of that ring. Look at the size of that flange. It is massive. And on the left-hand side here, we can see just a little silhouette of a single dial. Whereas on the right-hand side, there is no dial at all. We can see your shutter release, maybe another button or something next to it, and then we have that open area there. That open area might be the spot that we talked about, that LCD that could be at the top of the camera. And that's it. We see it end with "in pursuit of light." So I really think they knocked it out of the park with this video, this teaser video. It has that new futuristic feel to it, which is what Nikon needs. They're putting out a brand new camera that is supposed to be the future of photography. I think they did a fantastic job. Now, Nikon said they were going to have famous people on board. Their advertisement is going to be just second to none. They're going to throw a lot of money at this. And by the looks of it and by the feel of it, I think they're going to, guys. This is really exciting to me. Very, very exciting. It looks exceptional. So let's check out the specs on it. What has remained the same? What has changed? So let me start out with the camera itself. Now, originally they said it was going to be a 24 to 25 megapixel camera, as well as a 45 megapixel camera. I think that's going to be the case. Why? Because I think they're going to have, like, for example, a Sony A7S version, which will be their low megapixel, but awesome at low light, and their R version, Sony's R version, that will be a high megapixel, like this 45 megapixel version, to directly compete with Sony. Now, they also said that the body was going to have better ergonomics. It was going to be larger than an A7. And by the looks of this video, it seems that way. It looks like it's going to be thin, but it looks a little bit bigger than what we see with, like, for example, the Sony A7. Next, 9 frames per second. I think that's going to remain the same. We haven't heard anything different so far. Also, the Z mount was originally said to be 49 millimeters. And then finally they said, no, it's going to probably be right around 55 millimeters. Well, by the looks of this video, guys, 55 for sure, maybe even bigger. Okay, it is massive. It's literally the size of the whole front of the camera. So I would imagine the knocked lenses are going to be those lenses preferred by photographers when it comes to low light. Just like in that video, that lens, that massive lens, I'm going to guarantee you that is going to be a knocked lens. Knocked lenses, if you don't know what they are literally 0.95. Okay, that's the f-stop on them. They're basically f1. They are just massive. They're going to receive a ton of light into them, and your depth of field is literally going to be a hair. All right, so it's going to be definitely for specific types of photography. Now, they also said it was going to have a 3.6 megapixel EVF. Nothing changed there. I believe that should be the case. Now, what might have changed here was originally I said it was going to have either a CF Express card in it or an XQD. Now, I'm not going to get into why I think that it's not going to have an XQD, but there's some things that came into the news as of late. I might do a video on it separately, but I have a feeling that it's going to have CF Express card in it for future proofing, because I don't know, but we'll get into it a little bit later, what is going to happen with this XQD. There's a lot of things going on, legalities and whatnot. So we'll get into that on another video. We also have the 3 lenses. They said it was going to have a 35 millimeter, a 50 millimeter, and a 24 to 70 millimeter kit lens. And I think that's going to remain the same. The 50 millimeter and the 35 millimeter are going to be f1.4, whereas the 24 to 70 millimeter will be f4.0. They're saying that it will have over 400 points of autofocus. Nothing has changed there. And they also said that the back panel, the back LCD, was going to be larger or as large as a D850 is what I said in my last video. I think this is definitely the case. I remember I said, how is it possible they're going to take this massive screen and stick it onto this small camera? Well, it looks like they did, right, guys? Just by the images that we see in this video, that LCD is massive. Over 75% of the back side of that camera is the LCD. It is huge. Rumors also had it that it was going to shoot 8K. I originally said, yes, it'll be 8K, but I think it'll be 8K time lapse, whereas the actual video will probably be 4K, and I'm going to venture to say it will be 60 frames per second. I can't see Nikon doing a 4K video camera that will do 30 frames per second and put them literally a year or two behind. They won't do it. It will shoot 60 FPS, my personal opinion. Now, as far as release time, they're saying a week or so we're going to get that announcement. I really don't think so. I think it's going to be pushed a little bit further back. I could be wrong because I want to see it right around that time of Photokina. They can announce it earlier, but the camera really can't come out until Photokina because they need that buzz. They need that worldwide, that global buzz that happens during Photokina. As far as the price, nothing new here. Still $4,000 on the upper end for the 45 megapixel, $3,000, under $3,000 for the 24 megapixel, 25 megapixel. And I'm going to guess the body will be right around $2,400. I think they're going to be a little bit higher than the Sony a7 III because I think that they want this to be a little bit more, let's call it upper end, okay? Not their base model. I think they're really going to try to knock this out of the park to begin with and not shoot for that, let's call it $1999 price tag, under $2,000 price tag. So everyone, those are my thoughts on the brand new Nikon full frame mirrorless that they're going to be coming out with. Looking at that teaser, looking at the internals, I think it's going to be amazing. I want to know what you think. Do you think Nikon is just going to knock it out of the park? Or do you think they're going to fall a little bit short because Sony's so far ahead of the game? What do you think? So in the comment area below, let's have this discussion. Now that we've seen the teaser, we've kind of analyzed frame by frame. What do you think? So that's it, guys. As always, if you enjoy my content, throw me a big thumbs up. That would be absolutely awesome. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you can get all my content when it becomes available, and click the bell icon so when it is available, you will be notified of it. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for yet another vlog. We'll see you in the next one. Happy shooting.